In June 2023, the world witnessed a heartbreaking incident during an ambitious expedition to the Titanic wreck site in the North Atlantic. Join us as we delve into the tragic events surrounding the submersible Titan, the brave souls aboard, and the valiant efforts to rescue them. 5 people were on board the Titan submersible when it lost contact with its support ship during a dive to the Titanic wreckage site in the North Atlantic on Sunday. On Thursday, the U.S. Coast Guard and the company that operated the submersible, OceanGate Expeditions, said that all 5 people on board were believed to be dead. Here are the passengers who were aboard the craft. Stockton Rush was the founder and chief executive of OceanGate Expeditions, the company that operated the submersible. He was piloting the vessel. In an interview that aired on CBS in November, Mr. Rush said he grew up wanting to be an astronaut, and after earning an aerospace engineering degree from Princeton in 1984, a fighter pilot. "I had this epiphany that I didn't want. It wasn't about going to space," Mr. Rush said. "It was about exploring. It was about finding new life forms. I wanted to be sort of the Captain Kirk. I didn't want to be the passenger in the back. I didn't realize that the ocean is the universe." He founded OceanGate, a private company that is based in Everett, Wash, near Seattle, in 2009. Hamish Harding, a British businessman and explorer, holds several Guinness World Records, including one for the longest time spent traversing the deepest part of the ocean on a single dive. He wrote on his Facebook page on Saturday that he was proud to announce that he had joined OceanGate's mission on the sub going down to the Titanic. Mr. Harding, 58, was the chairman of Action Aviation, a sales and air operations company based in Dubai. He had previously flown to space on a mission by Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin rocket company. Mr. Harding also took part in an effort to reintroduce cheetahs to India and holds a world record for the fastest circumnavigation of Earth via both the geographic poles by plane. Paul Henri Nargeolet, a French maritime expert, had been on more than 35 dives to the Titanic wreck site. Mr. Nargeolet was the director of underwater research for Arms Titanic, Inc., an American company that owns the salvage rights to the famous wreck and displays many of the artifacts in Titanic exhibitions. The company conducted 8 research and recovery expeditions between 1987 and 2010, according to its website. The British-Pakistani businessman Shahzad Dawood, 48, and his son, Suleiman, 19, were members of one of Pakistan's wealthiest families. Mr. Dawood had a background in textiles and fertilizer manufacturing. His son was a business student at the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow. A spokesman for the school confirmed in a statement on Thursday. Mr. Dawood and his son had embarked on a journey to visit the remnants of the Titanic when contact with the vessel was lost, the statement said, asking for privacy for the family. Mr. Dawood was also on the board of trustees for the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Institute. The organization said on its website that he was a resident of Britain and a father of 2 children. At the site of the Titanic wreck, roughly 900 miles off the coast of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, the submersible began its 2-hour-long descent of 12,500 feet below sea level. The $250,000 per person expedition was billed as a chance to step outside of everyday life and discover something truly extraordinary, according to an archived version of OceanGate's website. It was 9 a.m., Atlantic Daylight Time, 1.5 hours ahead of Eastern Time, according to Myalpukek Maritime Horizon Services, which co-owns the Polar Prince. At 11:47 a.m., the 21-foot submersible lost contact with its mothership. With no GPS underwater, the craft was only guided by text messages from the surface ship. Hours later, at 6:10 p.m., the submersible failed to resurface as scheduled. Authorities were notified at 6:35 p.m., according to Myalpukek Maritime Horizon Services, launching an international search and rescue effort. Monday, June 19, a race against time. The Titan has 4 days of emergency capability, Mauger told reporters. The sub's 96-hour emergency air supply set up Thursday morning as a crucial search target. U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard crews scoured the ocean surface and used sonar to listen for sounds far below the water. Commercial ships also assisted in the search. On Facebook, Rory Golden, an expedition participant on board the Polar Prince, urged people to think positive. "We are." OceanGate Expeditions said in a statement Monday night it was taking every step possible to return the 5 crew members. Tuesday, June 20, an interminable wait in dwindling oxygen supply. Sonar picked up banging sounds from underneath the water in the North Atlantic Ocean while searching for the submersible, according to an internal U.S. government memo on the search. Crews detected banging sounds every 30 minutes, and hours later, after additional sonar devices were deployed, banging was still heard, according to the memo obtained by Sound. It was unclear when the banging was heard or for how long. The underwater noises were detected by a Canadian P-3 aircraft, prompting the relocation of resources to explore their origin. The U.S. Coast Guard said via Twitter, adding that the searches have yielded negative results. Us, naval experts, were analyzing the data. On Tuesday afternoon, US Coast Guard Captain Jamie Frederick estimated the vessel was down to 40 hours of oxygen. Officials were unsure whether that was enough time to rescue those on board. With the arrival of new equipment, searchers had taken the operation below sea level after scouring an area of the ocean surface about the size of Connecticut, according to Mauger. "What we're going through right now is this interminable wait," Matthew Johan, a friend of Nargeolet. Wednesday, June 21, a search and rescue mission 100. Canadian P-3 aircraft detected underwater noises in the search area, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. Underwater remotely operated vehicles were relocated to explore the origin of the noises, and data was sent to us Navy experts for analysis. It was unclear whether the noises heard Tuesday night and Wednesday morning were from the missing submersible, according to Frederick. "I can't tell you what the noises are," Frederick said, but he stressed that the operation was still a search and rescue mission 100. If the craft is in the deep ocean, staying warm and lucid will be the biggest hurdles for the 5 passengers, experts warned. "They're freezing cold," retired Navy Captain David Marquet told SNAN. "They're all huddled together trying to conserve their body heat. They're running low on oxygen and they're exhaling carbon dioxide." The U.S. moved in military and commercial assets as aircraft from the Canadian Armed Forces. The U.S. Coast Guard and the New York Air National Guard looked above and below the water. A research ship with an underwater robot was dispatched by France to join the mission. The banging noises provided faint hope in a dire situation, made worse by emerging reports about OceanGate's operations and safety practices. Thursday, June 22, a light switch was switched off. Minutes before a U.S. Coast Guard news conference Thursday afternoon, OceanGate Expeditions issued a statement grieving the 5 men on board. "We now believe that our CO Stockton Rush, Shahzad Dawood and his son Suleiman Dawood, Hamish Harding and Paul Henry Nargeolet have sadly been lost," OceanGate said in the statement. "These men were true explorers who shared a distinct spirit of adventure and a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans. Our hearts are with these 5 souls and every member of their families during this tragic time. We grieve the loss of life and joy they brought to everyone. They knew." Mauger told reporters the submersible suffered a catastrophic implosion. The tail cone and other debris from the missing submersible were found by a remotely operated vehicle about 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic. "This is an incredibly unforgiving environment down there on the seafloor, and the debris is consistent with the catastrophic implosion of the vessel," Mauger said. The families were immediately notified. 5 different major pieces of debris from the submersible were found in the area Thursday morning, officials said. Each end of the pressure hull was found in a different place, according to Paul Hankins, U.S. Navy Director of Salvage Operations and Ocean Engineering. The U.S. Navy said it detected an acoustic signature consistent with an implosion on Sunday in the general area where the submersible was diving when it lost communication, a senior Navy official told CNN. The Navy then immediately relayed the information to the commanders leading the search effort, and it was used to narrow down the area of the search, the official said. Still, the sound of the implosion was determined to be not definitive, the official said, and the multinational efforts to find the submersible continued as a search and rescue operation. Any chance of saving a life is worth continuing the mission, the official said. The U.S. Navy also helped analyze the audio signatures of banging and other acoustic data that were heard during the search efforts, the Navy official said. Those were likely some form of natural life or sounds given off by other ships and vessels, according to the official. It's unclear where or how deep the Titan was when the implosion occurred. A catastrophic implosion is incredibly quick, taking place within just a fraction of a millisecond, said Aileen Maria Marty, a former naval officer and professor at Florida International University. Ultimately, among the many ways in which we can pass, that's painless, she said. Tom Detweiler, an ocean explorer and friend of Nargileh, on Thursday, recalled an expert's description of a catastrophic implosion in an Israeli submarine in 1968. For the crew, it was just like a light switch was switched off. He remembered the expert saying, "They didn't even realize what was happening. They didn't suffer." The tragedy of the Titan submersible reminds us of the inherent risks in exploring the unknown depths of our oceans. Their courage and adventurous spirit will forever be remembered. Thank you for joining us in remembering the brave souls lost in this Titanic wreck expedition. Please like, share, and subscribe for more stories of human endeavors and the pursuit of knowledge.